Well, I'm just telling you. Shame on you. You're 25 and you're living with your grandmother. You used up your quota of criminal convictions between now and the time that you're 98. Do you know that? I'm sorry.
I do apologize, sir.
You don't need to apologize to me. I'm not the one serving the jail time. That's your gig. 24B146556. Mr. Sluter, come on up here. State your name, counsel, your appearance.
Good morning, Peter Bernal.
Drake Allen Sluter.
MIDC counselor for Mr. Sluter.
He was supposed to be here on May the 4th for a show cause. He's had no prior technical violations. On June the 18th of 25, I placed him on probation under section 771.1 for a period of 9 months. And then I ordered that he reappear in person on, let's see, he appeared on March 4th. Yes, on March 4th of 26. He failed to appear on this warrant. There are 2 counts: failure to attend and complete two of 3 days on the court work program, and failure to pay fines and costs as ordered. How is he going to proceed on these?
Your Honor, I spoke to Mr. Sluter. He's going to plead guilty to both of the counts. I would also make note, the court make note that he missed his hearing because he was actually in rehab at the time, in inpatient rehab.
All right, sir, if you plead guilty here, I do want you to understand that would be 2 technical violations. You haven't absconded for 60 days, I suppose, because you were picked up. No, I guess it is 60 days today, so your probation could be revoked. Let me think. April 57, yeah, it's 61 days. Your probation could be revoked, and you could be incarcerated on this for 90 days with your 771 status revoked and the conviction entered. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You are presumed innocent. They have to prove you guilty by a preponderance of the evidence. You have the right to question their witnesses, to bring in your own, to use the subpoena powers of the court to bring in those witnesses. If you plead guilty, you'll be giving up all of those rights, and we are not going to have a hearing or a trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. To the charge you failed to attend and complete 2 of 3 days on the court work program, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty, sir.
Did you fail to attend 2 of 3 days on the court work program?
Yes, because
I know if you failed to attend that, sir.
Yes, I did.
And then as to count 2, the charge you failed to pay your fines and costs as ordered, how do you plead?
Guilty.
You failed to pay your fines and costs as ordered.
Yes.
Anybody force you to plead guilty?
No.
I'll accept your plea to both counts. Why wasn't he here? He was in rehab for how long?
Mr. Sluter, how long, when did you get released from rehab? Your hearing was on March 5th.
I was released from rehab in March, but I was also taken to Lake Ridge, where I was also placed in rehab there under their custody, which I just got released from there not long ago.
When?
About 2 weeks ago.
Why didn't you come in here?
I didn't. I was gonna come and take care of all this. I just
When?
Like
tomorrow, but right? You know how many people have told me tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
You can't do this, son. Detective, can I have your name back there, please?
Detective Bernal, Brownstown PD.
Do you live in Belleville, Mr. Sluter?
Yes, at the moment I do, but I'm trying to get back into another sober living.
Where was he picked up, Detective?
Your Honor, I'm not sure of that.
It was in Detroit.
He's a passenger in a car in Detroit. I believe he's been incarcerated since the weekend. Mr. Sluter, how long have you been in custody? Since Friday?
Since Friday, yeah.
Call in, Jessica. You got to take care of things, sir.
I understand.
I mean, it's great that you're going to sober living and all these other places, but you can't ignore your obligations. You could have gotten online from a facility, and that's number one. And number two, you should have shown up here the day of, and that's assuming you went the day that you were released, and that's assuming you went. I don't have any proof that you went. Do you have any proof that you were there?
Yes, in my property, but I don't have any of my property with me.
You- This is not good. I need your name, please. So he was picked up. He says he was at inpatient facilities. Do we have any proof of that?
Yeah, he's been in and out of inpatient facilities pretty much the entire time I had him on probation. The last proof of him being inpatient I have was January 28th of 2026. They sent me a letter of Sacred Heart stated that he was inpatient at that time. I don't know if he was released or anything though. I never got a release report from it.
You know, you had other misses on this case too. You know that, right? You gotta grow up.
I understand, sir. I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize to me. And by the way, picked up another charge, right? When were you going to tell us about that? Whatever happened with that case out of Van Buren? Possession of meth.
I was supposed to, I went back to court and it was supposed to get dropped down to probation through them. But with me being in treatment, I never was able to go back to court.
So you didn't go there either, huh? You graduated, get the screening, the pre-sentence. Did you graduate?
Yes, I did.
Mr. Sluter,
Yes,
you're 23.
25.
Okay, I'm sorry. You were 23 at the time we did this, handled this case. You're not doing too good. You used up your quota of criminal convictions between now and the time that you're 98. Do you know that? I'm serious as a heart attack. It's time to grow up. You're living with your grandma, right?
At the moment, yeah.
But why are
right
you
now,
living with your
I'm-
grandmother? Because you're not getting out, you're not working, right?
Yes, I've been
He
working.
doesn't,
Well, I'm just telling you. Shame on you. You're 25 and you're living with your grandmother.
Yes, sir.
Look, I don't have any choice as far as I'm concerned. I mean, he's coming up. There's no way he can do the court work program days and pay his fines by June the 18th. I'm revoking your 771.1 status.
Okay.
I'm entering the conviction. Yeah, you're not doing too well. You got in with the wrong crowd, huh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you got in with the guys that you just don't want to be within 48 miles of, you know? And not even 48 miles unless you don't have a car and you only have a bicycle. I get the feeling sometimes, Mr. Sluter, it bothers me to see people ruin their lives more than it does them. You know that?
Yes, sir.
You can go to rehab all the days you want, but you keep hanging around with the same thugs. And then that's what happens. You follow me?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to sentence him anew. Give me a first page of a register, please. I'm going to sentence him anew. I'm revoking his status, entering the conviction, and we'll go from there.
Thank you. I'm gonna go take a.
Anything else?
I think we covered it. I just wanted to let you know that he is working full-time at the College for Creative Studies in Detroit. He's doing maintenance there. He's stable. He's living with his grandmother, who's in the line on a place to have his own place in Detroit. And again, he's been incarcerated since Friday.
Can I ask a question, Mr. Sluter? How many days were you, now, I don't want you to embellish, I do not want you to embellish. You said that was January 28th, right? And that was from,
Sacred Heart.
and they said he'd been in there how long?
At that point, they just stated that he was inpatient there and that he had gone inpatient on the 28th, and the letter was just stating that he's there. The maximum time that he would stay there would be about 30 days, but his average length would be 10 to 21 days, but it was just when he was admitted. They never sent anything to tell me after how many days he completed.
Right. How long were you at Sacred Heart? And I can easily find out, so don't lie to me.
I was there for 21 days.
And then
I
what
left
happened? So
there.
you got out, hang on. So you got out sometime around February 18th. Then where'd you go?
And then I went to Lake Ridge Village.
How long were you there?
Detroit. I was there up until recently, maybe about a couple weeks ago.
Hang on a second. Hang on. From February 18th until sometime in the third week of April, is that where you're telling me, what you're telling me?
Yes.
You were in? Then you didn't show up on your circuit court case, right?
Yes, sir, because I was in Lake Ridge Village at the time. And
And
it's
you've been
hard
out
to
how
get
long?
a couple weeks now.
And you didn't go over to the circuit court and surrender?
So I'm sorry.
I'm sorry?
I do apologize, sir.
You don't need to apologize to me. I'm not the one serving the jail time. That's your gig.
Judge, I will say too, when he was sentenced, we did have proof he was sentenced June 18th of 2025. At that time, we had proof that he was in Sacred Heart and then also in a sober living facility since April 1st of that year. So he'd done about a little over 2 months either in Sacred Heart or in a sober living facility at the time that he was sentenced.
Whoever's got the phone, it's got to leave the building, please. You got to take the phone out of the building, please. Thank you. 100 fines, 250 costs, 75 victims' rights. So we're gonna do away with the $620 plus any late fees on the fines. I'm only gonna charge you 100, 250, 75, 50. So that's victims' rights and $50 justice assessment. So your total's 475 and 17 days, credit 5, serve 12 more. You're gonna serve an additional 673 days if you don't pay your fines. I'm gonna let you pay those at the rate of $50 per week. I'm gonna start that beginning on June the 22nd. Now, if you don't have the money, no problem, call the court. We'll go on Zoom, or you can come in here and talk to me, and I'll be glad to give you an extension, okay? But if you ignore me, you're gonna serve the other 73 days. Do you understand?
What about today? Like, how am I
You're
gonna get out of here?
you're in custody now. I gave you 17 days and I'm crediting 5. You're serving 12 more.
Okay,
Good luck. Thanks, Mr. Granata. You have 21 days to appeal, 14 days to apply for a court-appointed lawyer for purposes of appeal. Do you understand all that?
yes, sir.
All right, good luck. Concord versus Kelly Tackett, 2601496.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ralph Mayers, P23815, appearing on behalf of the plaintiff Concord Co-op.
Good morning, Mr. Mayers. You're looking good. What happened with this one? I don't have Kelly Tackett here. Is there going to be a dismissal or is it a default?
Well, Your Honor, there's still rent due and owing, so we would seek a default judgment for non-payment.
You can go ahead and proceed.
Amount of rent to retain is $1,196. And we have court costs of $179.58. Total default judgment proposed would be $1,375.58.
And your late fees are less than $75 a month, right?
Oh, they're down to 50, Your Honor.
Right, I knew that. So writ date will be in this case May the 14th, if you can get me that here this morning. Okay, Mr. Mayers?
We'll send that out today, Judge.
And you have one more. You got Concord versus Jamie Asunto, 2601497.
Again, Ralph Mayers, behalf of the plaintiff. Your Honor, the defendant has failed to appear. There's a good reason. While this was pending, I was informed by the co-op that the defendant passed.
Oh, no.
Nobody has come forward with letters of authority to represent the estate. However, once the co-op retains the unit back, and this is for non-payment, they'll clean it out, and then any refund of any equity would have to go to the estate. So we would ask for a default judgment versus Jamie Assunto, the estate of Jamie Assunto, and all occupants, Your Honor, and I have the amount due and owing.
Okay, go ahead.
The amount would be due and owing of $598 in carrying charges. That's through April. Court costs $179.58. Total proposed default judgment, therefore, would be $777.58.
All right, writ date will be on the 14th of May. Default judgment's entered. That's a shame. So I'll ask you to submit your judgment. Good to see you, Mr. Mayers.
Back at you, Judge. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. You know, the Supreme Court is asking us to remind everybody to fill out one of those public satisfactions. If you get a minute, I'd appreciate it. If not, I understand.
I would love to have that form to fill out. I don't have it.
It's on the screen here.
Oh, I
Jennifer,
see.
There's the
Thank you.
website is on the screen, Mr. Mayers.
I'll see if I can figure it out.
Okay.
thanks. Have a good day. Samson Billy Alohi versus Sukrai Singh. Come on up here, gentlemen, 2601776. And also Michigan Truck Driving School, Inc. Samson Alohi?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good morning. Your name?
No, sir. Sounds.
Okay. You understand good English, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And who is Sukrai Singh? Your name?
Sukra
And what is your name?
Sukpa. I'm his partner.
Well, he's just, who owns Michigan Truck Driving School?
3 partners, so one is not cooperating. So
I'm sorry?
we were 3 partners, so 2 are here. So he's
All right, let me see this. Let me just figure this out, okay? So you're suing both of those entities, right?
yes, sir.
So you're getting sued individually, Mr. Singh. You know that.
I just know now, I don't know this,
You got to keep your voice up for me.
we are running the Michigan Rocket Driving School. The school has been shut down like a couple of months now. We are not operating any more business and we are 3 partners.
This isn't something I saw on TV, is it?
No,
Well, okay. You know you're being sued individually, right?
I just know now.
Okay. And then you have to tell me your name again, Mr.
Oh, SUKHPA.
Hang on, slow down. Say that again.
UKH
H
SUKHPAL.
Sukhpal. And that's your
First name.
first name. Is your last name Singh too?
Yes.
And are you two related?
Yes.
What is your relations?
Brother-in-law. Brother-in-law.
How can he be? Okay, I know. Brother-in-law? So you guys have the same last name, even though you're brother-in-law?
Yes, same.
Okay. All right. So I need to advise everybody here, you have the right to have the case removed to the General Civil Division. Anybody can do that. If you proceed in the Small Claims Division, you are giving up certain rights. Each one of you are giving up the right to hire a lawyer. Each one of you are giving up the right to demand a trial by jury. Each one of you are giving up the right to appeal my decision, no matter how good or bad you think it is. And to the extent that you are entitled to it, plaintiff, you're giving up the right to seek an excess of $7,000. If you're going to stay in the Small Claims Division, you would have to waive those rights. If you want to have the case removed to the General Civil Division, I'll still be the judge presiding in the case, but you can hire a lawyer, you can demand a trial by jury, you can seek an excess of $7,000, and you can appeal my decision. Okay, so you could have a jury trial, you could hire a lawyer, you could appeal my decision, and if you're gonna, that's if you remove the case. Do you understand that,
Yes.
Mr. Singh?
Yes,
And do you understand that, Mr. Supal Singh?
yes, sir.
And do you understand that, Mr. Alohi?
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to give up those rights and proceed here? Okay, if you waive those rights, we're gonna have the hearing now. If you tell me, Judge, I don't want to waive those rights, I want to have a trial by jury, or I want a lawyer, or I want to be able to appeal your decision, then just tell me and I'll remove the case to the general civil division. In which case you can hire a lawyer, have a jury trial, and appeal my decision. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
What do you want to do?
I want to wait.
I can't hear you.
I want to wait.
You want to,
I don't want to remove it.
okay, so you want to waive the rights?
No, I don't want.
Okay, slow down. Slow down. Do you want to waive those rights or do you want to go to the general civil division?
No, I don't want to go to, I want to leave.
You want to waive those rights? Take your hand away from your mouth. If you waive those rights, I'm going to hear the case here. If you, right now, if you,
I want the case right.
you want to waive those rights then?
Yes, sir.
How about you, Mr. Singh? And I'm talking about you, Mr. Sukrai Singh. Do you want to waive those rights or do you want to have the case removed?
We're gonna do here.
What's that?
You can do here.
You waive those rights?
Yes.
And on behalf of the company, do you also waive those rights, Mr. Sukrai Singh?
Yes.
Do you also waive those rights on behalf of the company, Mr. Sukbal Singh?
Can I just know the clarification, what is the waiving, like, he's blaming on $4,000 one.
Okay, you guys, I want to make sure everybody understands.
Yes.
Okay? I want to answer your question, but you keep your voice up nice and loud for me and slow down. So what is your question? Nice and loud and slow.
All right, my question is, we can move to, our attorney, so we can hire attorney, then we want to proceed.
Okay, you got to keep your voice up. Hi, I'm getting old
Yes.
and I can't hear everything.
Okay,
And
so-
now you guys got a little bit of broken English, which is fine, but it makes it harder for me to understand. Voice nice and loud and slow. Do you want to have the case removed to the general civil division and hire a lawyer?
Yes.
All right, they have that right. But you have to hire a lawyer on behalf of the company. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So they have the right to have the case removed. And you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
All right, so you have to hire a lawyer, though. You have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but you might want to, okay? I'll just make a note. Defendants want case removed. Do you also want it removed versus you? Either way, you don't have a case, you don't have a choice. I'll just, is that what you want, Mr. Sukrai Singh?
Yes.
I'll make a note. Defendants want case to be removed. You're gonna fill out a demand for removal, okay? Demand for removal. And then you're going to have to answer the complaint. So you better go get your lawyer today. I think, remind me, I think it's 14 days, right, Jennifer, I think? 14 days they have to answer the complaint. So you're gonna have to go hire a lawyer today so you don't miss that deadline. Fill out a demand for removal right down the hall right now.
Okay.
And then they have that right, so I'm gonna reschedule it and we'll set it for a pretrial. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right, good enough. Have a good day. We'll see you back here.